Hello, it's my pleasure to share with you on some issues relating to the raising of money. As a startup, I'm sure one of the most important things which may be keeping you occupied is where and how to raise money. Let me first tell you that it is not impossible to raise money, but at the same time, I'll say it's not easy too. You need not worry about the money, but you cannot ignore about planning for the money. Of course, you should have a good plan, business plan, good product that has to be marketed. And they say the money will flow. But money will not flow just like that. So it is necessary to understand the nuances of raising money. So some questions at a very preliminary stage you should be in a position to answer to yourself. How much money is required? Because one of the important or the most common mistakes that we have seen that startups often do is not having a clarity about the quantum of money required. Because sometimes too much of money which is not required may often create problem at a later stage. So therefore, there is a need for you to understand how much is needed. This is not an easy question to answer, of course. Slowly as we move across, and we'll get into the ways of understanding and determining various models to decide how much money is required. Nonetheless, this remains an important question. Reflect on that. When and how long the money is needed? Because entire money is not needed at a particular point of time. So you should be clear, if I need 100,000 or 500,000, when will I need that? So there is a need to question and get a clarity on this question, that when is this money needed? If at all, can you provide any security to get this money? Sometimes the giver of money may not trust your project, may not have confidence in your plan, may not have any idea about the product that you're working on, and may not empathize with the problem or the social issue that you're trying to address. But he will not hesitate to give money if there is a sufficient security is given to him or her. So what type of security you can provide? Personal, your own property, friends, relatives. Reflect on that. And later on, it also becomes necessary for you to ask, are you ready to give up some control, some ownership stake of your own business in return of an investment? Some entrepreneurs are so much attached to the project, the idea, the concept, they don't even think about sacrificing a small bit of ownership. But remember, giving small bit of ownership may be in the interest of the larger goal that you're working or you're moving towards. And giving up a small control or ownership is one of the ways you can raise money too. So therefore, before you start looking for money, try to reflect and ask yourself this question. How much finance is required? When and how long this money is needed? What type of security can be given? Are you prepared to give up some control, some stake in favor of the investment? Normally, the second question which comes to mind is about what is this money all for? The first one, invariably most entrepreneurs ignore. And sometimes this creates a problem, which is called pre-setup cost. And that may account for a significant part of the total cost of the project. So be clear about what are these pre-setup activities which are required to start your business. Even start thinking about your business. Start networking to pull in people, resources to think about your business. This is a big chunk. Maybe your time, the opportunity cost. You may have to sacrifice your business, your present job. So this pre-setup cost is a very big item. Once you know that, okay, this is my expenses and you are ready to meet that, then the normal items, heads of accounts or heads of finance come into picture, which is called capital cost. No? CapEx, building, plant, machinery, computers. That's called capital cost. And then the operating cost to manage, which will actually enable you to do the day-to-day expenses, meet the day-to-day needs, which are called operating costs. Just like pre-setup, many entrepreneurs ignore the future cost. Business is not for a day or two. Business is something which is going to continue for long. In fact, the value of a business is the value of the future cash flows. So future cannot be ignored. So there is, and future has to be considered at present. So while understanding the need for the money, there is also need to reflect on what are these future costs. So as we move along, we'll pick up one by one and understand what is this money required for. What percentage of money is required now? Is my business driven by capital cost, or is my business driven by operating cost? Should I ignore future cost now? These are some questions which at a very preliminary stage a startup entrepreneur should be aware of. Thank you very much. I'll come back to you with more details with other issues relating to finance.